What does the attack on stablecoins really mean for Bitcoin price? Well, the situation is really exciting with Bitcoin here, and I'll give you my take considering yesterday's price action that really changed things, in my opinion. But first, I actually felt rather rattled this Monday morning with the BUSD situation. I always said that the only news I don't want to wake up to is that there is a problem with the Paxos issued BUSD on the Ethereum blockchain. And then that's exactly what I woke up to this week. Paxos, the issuer, seemed the perhaps most compliant entity in the whole of crypto, which actually had a real regulator overseeing their money. Then the SEC going after them, who actually provide an honest, well-appreciated, useful service to customers, is surprising. Also, the playbook is really being rewritten now. We've had stablecoins for like forever. Suddenly they are a security? Really? What I don't get is if BUSD is a security, why isn't their other stablecoin USDP a security? And Circle's USDC? I can't think of any reason. So if they are next, will we be back to Tether then? Which no one could really figure out if they had the money or not all the way since I got into crypto 6 years ago. Really? And why would the SEC shut down Paxos and Circle, which they've after all have quite good control over already, but leave Tether with USDT, which has turned out harder to control? Remember when there was this talk about freezing funds following the Tornado Cash situation? Tether actually resisted. Tether says it won't freeze sanctioned Tornado Cash addresses unless instructed by law enforcement. Tether also expressed reservations regarding USDC issuer Circle's decision to unilaterally freeze Tornado Cash smart contract addresses earlier this month, shutting down the compliant citizens and letting the somewhat rogue guy getting their market share also. No way! That does not seem a way to really in control, does it? So that's not a likely scenario in my opinion. If in the end they actually bring down Paxos and Circle, for sure they're gonna go after Tether as well. So if BUSD, USDP, USDC and USDT are all brought down in the end, could we be left without a stablecoin? No, I don't think so. In business, everything starts and ends with this. Number one, is there a burning problem for a starving audience? Starving audience? Yes, people are starving for a way to secure the value of crypto. Like when Large Online turns down and you want to secure the value. And is there burning problem? Yes. Moving money in and out of crypto is a real problem for many. Do you solve it? Yes. Stablecoins solve that problem. They have turned out vastly superior to anything else. So there is huge money in this because there are real customers who are willing to effectively pay to use a stablecoin. And you are paying today because holding stablecoins doesn't give any interest, while holding USD in the bank account does. And despite that, there's over $120 billion in that, proving how huge the demand is. So even if it comes to US authorities shutting down all the stablecoins, which we don't know yet if it will happen, even so, I think in that case they would find themselves with another decentralized stablecoin that actually works. I don't subscribe at all to the idea that it can't be done just because Luna did some really dumb things. Remember that Luna actually stole the idea of the mint and burn mechanism from XHV in January 2018. Then that tiny XHV project has faced every problem under the sun with no real funding, yet it's still moving 5 years later and they're still working on it. I believe in innovation. And what I can say with certainty is that it's definitely a mistake to conclude that something can't be done just because the first big project trying to do that thing failed. So the SEC shutting down as much of crypto as possible by going after the honest players that are the easiest to get to comply, like Paxos, like Kraken, that will in fact swing the pendulum back to decentralization, which is where crypto started. Then the SEC will wake up one day and realize that they lost control instead of gaining control. I'm not saying that is necessarily good. Less regulatory control also means more scams. I'm just saying that it's a quite likely outcome of all this, because I can almost say with certainty that the industry and the concepts will not go away, because there is a huge demand. There is a burning problem for a starving audience, and crypto has the solution, and it can't be done any other way as efficiently. That is the innovation of blockchain, of a distributed ledger that can run code on one global protocol that can be used on one market by the whole world. Good luck competing with that with some solution from one country, even if that country is the United States of America. Remember that the US has about 4% of the world population, and Asia is growing in strength in relation to the West. Okay, so that's all interesting, but what about the market? Well, my 3 conclusions from this when it comes to the market are these. Number 1. Short term, of course, BUSD is being switched off, but it is still redeemable for $1. USDP from Paxos, USDC from Circle, and USDT from Tether are still alive and operating. So, in practical terms, not much has changed as of right now, just a different stablecoin. Number 2, long term, I think we might find ourselves with different, more decentralized stablecoins than today. And number 3, most important, I don't think this market is going away, neither long-term nor short-term. In fact, I think truly decentralized protocols like Bitcoin, like Ethereum, might even benefit from this push from regulators going after centralized entities that are easy to catch. Not even Gary Gensler is pushing to ban Bitcoin here. And even if the practicalities gets harder with stablecoins and so on, I don't think the market speculators in Bitcoin that have enjoyed these life-changing gains, the most appreciating asset of all human history, they're not gonna pack up and go home. When you've played this game once in your life, going back to index funds or something will seem, well, not so exciting. So in short, onwards and forward, it might get volatile. Whales might use these news that will keep coming out to support price manipulation. And I think it will become more important than ever to look at the chart to try to uncover what the big players are actually doing, not what everyone is saying in the media, because that can quite possibly be the exact opposite. Like now, horrible news in the media. What happens with Bitcoin price? It runs up and breaks a key resistance. So let's look at what is actually happening in the chart, because it's very interesting now. One more thing. Let me remind everyone here that I'm a fan of scenarios, not of predictions. I think predicting the future is very difficult. But having a few scenarios and then figuring out which of those seem to be playing out based on what actually happens, that's much easier and much more accurate. So if you remember the video from last week, a concern I had was that if this is the high of this move, and this is supposed to be an inverse head and shoulder, with the left shoulder, head, and then the right shoulder here, that neckline slopes down in a very sad way. Remember, for inverse head and shoulder, it's supposed to be strength, not slope downwards. And it didn't really matter if we drew them from the candle close or from the top of the wick, it still sloped down in about the same way. Which kind of invalidated that whole scenario, which I felt was very sad, because if it plays out, that would give a super confident entry, and we could even enter with leverage. Now that situation has changed. If we now put this on the candle close over here and the candle close from yesterday, even if today doesn't hold, now this neckline becomes almost straight. And if we put it at the absolute highs at the wicks, it's also practically straight. So suddenly, regardless of what happens now, whether we break through or if we retrace, find support and then break through, confirming an inverse head and shoulders pattern. That's a very high confidence entry. And since we have entries down here at 17,433, of course I'm very happy to see this. Trend is up. Large online is gold. We can buy dips. And why large online is gold? Even if we get something like this, I'm not gonna panic sell a lower low, which then recovers, because then it might be Wyckoff manipulation in play instead. You have to separate predictions from scenarios, guys. I don't know what the market will do in the future. We don't need to predict it. Our entry right now is up, as of this moment, by 40%. Not bad after dodging the whole decline. Now let's meet two friends. But first, a recap to September 7th, 2022. Your favorite metaverse tokens?
My favorite, it's Sandbox and Render token, yeah. Render token, not Raiden.
So Render token, how did that go? I desperately need a haircut. And where do we go for haircut, folks? Mr. Render token.
Du har kaffe eller whisky eller?
Jag börjar med kaffe. So Render token, I checked, it's up 300%.
350%,
Yeah.
something like that. I tell you, Render good.
Yeah.
It will be better soon also.
You still hold your Render token?
Yeah, absolutely.
September 7th. So if you just blindly bought, you're up 300%. And if you followed the process, you avoided this 92% drawdown from the top. You might have bought here, then got stopped out for probably a small loss. But then the next gold flip actually worked. So without risking hodling on the way down in case this hadn't worked out, the gold flip was here and you're up 225% without risking the downside. So in terms of risk reward, that is even better because you could potentially go in with more money in that case. Sandbox, which also had a huge decline, then a turnaround, entry would be here in 2023 and it's right now a little bit above that. So are you not entertained, guys? I think most people thought that was a joke at the time, but do you think I would have left it in there if I didn't think there was any point to it? Now, let's follow up on the second friend.
Tjena, nice and cold today.
How's the company?
We're working hard. Crypto never sleeps.
Yeah, maybe you remember Alex from CoinPanel from a previous video, which I'll link here. So, how is it going?
All's going well. We're busy developing new features to all our customers, both for retail and institutional. We've introduced a few more automation features to allow you to automate your trading even better on all the exchanges that are connected to CoinPanel.
And if anyone missed it, what's this CoinPanel again?
CoinPanel is a trading automation platform which allows you to automate your trading strategies across multiple exchanges. So you can basically set 1,000 orders on the same amount that you have in your crypto exchange wallet.
And you added some new features, right?
Exactly.
Maybe you can show us.
So if you go into the trade button here on CoinPanel, you can see that we've made it easier to select order types and you can see a full list of the order types. And if you go to the automation section, we've just launched Ping Pong and Ping Pong Advanced, which is essentially a way to set an upper buying limit or selling limit and a lower buying or selling limit that allows you to buy and sell on specifically set out prices in a continuous sideways moving market.
That's suitable for range trading then, if it kind of goes into range consolidation.
Until it breaks out of that range, then of course it makes sense to reevaluate and see which way the market is going before you set another strategy in terms of ping pong. And then if you look at the other order types, we have Iceberg automation bot pretty soon, as well as other automation features like DCA and grid bots. There will be much more coming soon. You can place an order for, let's say, the price of 23,000 for Bitcoin, and it will only trigger when it reaches a specifically set trigger price. So your orders are not on the order books. You can place as many orders as you want. The first one that triggers will be sent to the exchange and into the order book. So you're completely protected from order book manipulation.
And one feedback from you guys in our community after we met last time was that many people wanted a freemium so they could kind of try it before buying.
Yeah, we listened and we've launched a freemium version a few months back, which allows you to use the platform in almost in an unlimited fashion. So you can try it out for as long as you want. There is a limit on number of trades, but it's a very good way to get to know the platform without investing any money into it.
You can do actual trades.
You can do actual trades. You can connect your exchange accounts and start trading from the first minute of signing up.
All right, so quick update for you guys. Let's go fika.
Let's go fika.
There is a discount affiliate code for CoinPanel in the description. Otherwise, for disclosure, I don't have any association with them as such, so always you need to do your own research. But do take note that your money isn't at CoinPanel. They are still at the exchange. My only wholehearted financial advice is to invest in yourself, in education. Equip yourself with tools, with processes, lift your network of people. This is what I use, and you're most welcome to join at ctolarsson.com. But if you don't like it, use something else. But don't just wing it and go with your gut, because then you have a 90% probability of losing your money in the end. If you're in Sweden, tomorrow evening I will present on Binance Meetup in Stockholm, industry-leading speakers such as CTO Larsson. Hope to see you there. Thank you, tack. CTO Larsson out. Hej då! So, what's your new favorite?
It will be better for Mana and Gala. I recommend Mana and Gala as soon as possible.
So, there you got it, folks. Okay, Gala, that's one of those coins who had a huge pump in late 2021, then a long and rough decline of 98% from the top. From the first pump after the blue flip until the gold flip, minus 87%. Now the trend has turned back up, gold flip was here, and it's at about the same level today.